Hey guys, it's Ciara and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing my 2020 year in review, and I'm basically just going to be going through everything that happened to me this year, or just things that I did that was significant in my year. I'm going to try my best not to go into too much detail in each thing because I have a very long list to go through, and I don't want this video to be too long because, let's be honest, no one has that long of an attention span and is actually going to watch the whole thing, and I would like people to actually stay and watch. So, January, the first thing that happened was on January 4th, I joined the Performing Arts School Stagecoach. In December of 2019, I finished at the Pauline Quirk Academy. I'd been there for 5 years, since I was 9 years old. I just felt like I needed to leave. I just didn't really feel like staying there. I didn't feel like I was getting much out of it. And the calibre wasn't very high, so I just felt like it wasn't going to help me get anywhere. So I joined Stagecoach on January the 4th. And I absolutely loved it there. It was great. I stayed there for 3 months, obviously because of lockdown in March, and then I left in September because I just realised I didn't really want to do performing anymore. I do still love performing in musical theatre and things like that. I realised I didn't want to do it as a career anymore, so I just didn't want to pay too much for performing arts school if I was only doing it for fun and for my social life. Next thing that happened was on the 25th of January, I went on a little one-day holiday to Cromer. I had a little photo shoot on the beach. It was really nice. If anybody else who's watching this has been there, then you'll know how amazing it is. I really loved it. On the 26th of January, I did a looped call with Max and Harvey, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically like you're FaceTiming people, but it's through like an app, and this app is specifically for people like FaceTiming celebrities. So I did this on the 26th of January and I loved speaking to them. It was really awkward, and they did several other loop call sessions afterwards, but I was the first person to ever have a loop call with them, and it was really scary. And everybody else got like 5 minutes, but mine was like literally a minute because they thought they had a time limit and then they couldn't go over the time limit. So I was literally on call to them for like a minute, but everybody else got 5 minutes, and I was really annoyed about it because it literally cost me 30 quid. But you know, it was still nice and I did enjoy it. Okay, so moving on to February. On the 9th of February, I went to my first ever open audition for a musical theatre production in my local city. Unfortunately, I didn't get a role into production. However, it was really nice to go to my first ever open audition, and the calibre was really high, so I'm not surprised that I didn't get it, to be fair. On the 15th of February, my friend Abby got me video messages from George from New Hope Club.
Hi Ciara, it's George here. I hope you're doing well and having a lovely day. I hope you enjoyed the album. Love you lots. See you soon.
And Joe Tasker from YouTube/CBBC, whatever you know him from.
Alright Ciara, hope you're doing good. I just thought to say hello, and your friend will say
Hi.
hi. Hope you're doing good. Hopefully I will see you soon. Stay happy and farewell. Bye.
And I was really appreciative of that. I couldn't go to Media City UK, which was where they were filming an episode of Saturday Mashup for CBBC, which is a Saturday morning programme, and I really wanted to meet Joe and George and I couldn't, but my friend Abby was going there to meet them, so she got me a video message from them, which was lovely. Another thing that happened on the 15th of February was I went down to London ready for my eventful weekend.
And so the adventure begins.
And speaking of my eventful weekend, on February the 16th I saw Max and Harvey in London. On February the 17th, I saw Max and Harvey in Birmingham. On the 18th, I saw Max and Harvey in Manchester. It was very eventful and a lot happened. I'm very glad that a lot did happen because obviously the whole world was shut down by March, and to be able to have this very busy February, which I did, it was a busy month. I'm very glad I managed to have that last month of doing as much as I could without knowing that that was going to be my last month of freedom. And then I went back to school the next day after the Manchester show, which you will know if you see my video. And then on February the 20th I went down to London for the weekend until the 24th for VidCon London, which was on the 22nd and 23rd, so the Saturday and Sunday of that weekend. I went down to London with my niece and my mum. My niece wanted to go see Simon Colby and I wanted to see lots of different people, and I'll insert some clips and photos from that weekend.
like a bit awkward, isn't it?
But then I think the people there will be very nice. They're not going to have like, if you're in the audience of that panel, you know, they're not going to.
Moving on to March, on the 6th of March I bought tickets for Nickelodeon Slimefest. Now yes, you may be like, why is a 15-year-old buying tickets for Slimefest? However, Diversity were going, Holly H was going, and Max and Harvey were going. Unfortunately it got cancelled because it was meant to be in October of this year, and I'm very, very sad it got cancelled because I had meet and greet and everything and I was really, really excited. However, it is happening next year. I'm literally going to be in college by the time it goes on. Like, it's October 2021. Like, I'll be in college at that point. I don't really know if I'm going to want to go see them at that point. However, I have the tickets. It should be a laugh. On March the 18th, I did my school production of Legally Blonde. Each year group had to watch it, and I genuinely overcame one of my biggest fears, which was performing in front of my own year group. And it was horrible. But at the same time it was alright, and luckily I didn't have to hit any comments of people talking to me about it because that was like the last day of school and I didn't see anybody again till September, and by that point everybody had forgotten that it happened, so I was very, very lucky in that circumstance. On March the 20th the schools closed. Little did we know that they were going to actually close until September, which is a bit insane. And then on March the 23rd, lockdown began and everybody thought it was going to be for 2 weeks. Was it for 2 weeks? No, it was for several months. And now we're all going to fail our exams. On March the 26th, Tom followed me on Instagram.
Can't reach if we're trying. Yeah, we're breaking free. I love how right now I'm being serenaded by Tom. I love you, Tom.
Now, if you're not in the Max and Harvey fandom, you probably won't know who Tom is. Like, you definitely won't know who Tom is. However, Tom is a very special person to me, and that is the day he followed me, and a lot has happened since then that you'll hear about in the rest of this video. Moving on to April, the first thing that happened was on April 3rd, Max and Harvey did their 24-hour live stream, which I'm not gonna lie, absolutely killed me. I think I fell asleep for like 10 minutes when it was like 4 in the morning because I just couldn't. It was really, really hard. I don't know how they did it because I was just sat there watching it, but they were like entertaining the whole 24 hours. It wasn't just like they were going about their day and just filming it. They were full on trying to entertain people for 24 hours consistently. Don't know how they did it. They were very exhausted by the end, but it was a laugh. On April 20th, I turned my garage into my own recording studio / music space. I do use it quite regularly and I go up there to play my drums or my piano or my flute or just to produce a bit of music or just sing. On the 22nd of April, I bleached my hair for the first time. It was not a vibe. It looked okay, but it was patchy and it just wasn't a vibe, you know? Moving on to May, on the 9th of May, I bleached my hair for the second time. And as I bleached my hair more and more, it progressively just looked worse and I really regret doing it. However, I couldn't have done what I did next if I didn't bleach it, so you'll find out about that in a minute. On the 14th of May, I tried to dye my hair pink, but it failed and it literally only had a tint and I wanted it like bright pink and it just didn't work and I was a bit angry about it. So following that, on the 22nd of May, I took the pink tint out of my hair because I was just like, this just looks stupid, and it literally made it look like gingery. But it wasn't ginger, it was like, I don't even know what it was, but it just wasn't a look. On the 27th of May, I bleached it for the 3rd time. At this point, my hair was ruined. Like, if I touch it, it would just fall out in my hand. That's how bad it was.
At this point, it is burning. Like, I am in agony. I'm trying to distract myself by like going like this on my head, but it's just not working.
On the 28th, this was a good day. I dyed it bright pink. At first I was a bit shocked. I was like, oh my god, I don't like this, but I grew to love it and it made me my most confident self. On May the 30th, Tom, who I mentioned earlier, guested me on his live stream. I have the privilege of saying I'm the only fan I'm pretty sure he's ever guested, so I'm very privileged about that. That day was very good. Although I didn't want him to guess me because I didn't press request on the live stream because I was just sat here where I'm sat right now with wet hair, just come out the shower, and I didn't have any makeup on. I looked awful, but he was going through the things and people were like, guess fans, and I was like, ugh, who's gonna get guested? And then it said Tom wants to go live with you, and I was like, what? I haven't even requested, but he searched for my name, and me and Ella still talk about it to this day because we can't believe that he literally searched my name when other people wanted to go live with him and I didn't request, and I was like, what? But anyway, it was the best thing ever. It was a very blurry live stream and it literally only lasted like 3 minutes. However, it was one of the best moments of my year. The following day, so May the 31st, I saw my nieces and nephew for the first time since lockdown because it was my sister's birthday that weekend, so we wanted to do something. We were all socially distanced, however, it was nice to see my family again. Okay, moving on to June. On June the 3rd, I fell in love with Taylor Swift. I loved Taylor Swift before, and I have loved Taylor Swift since 2013, ever since I heard We Are Never Getting Back Together on the radio, sat outside a corner shop in the city near where I live, and that is a moment I never forget. Even when I wasn't a Taylor Swift fan, one of my only musical memories was listening to that song for the first time on the radio. So yeah, I have loved her for a very long time, and when 1989 came out, I was literally obsessed with that album. I had the CD, I played it in the car all the time. However, on June the 3rd, it popped up on my Netflix, that Miss Americana documentary, like it was advising me to watch it. So I watched it and I absolutely fell in love with that woman. And ever since, I have not stopped falling out of love with her. I listen to her music every day. She is my favourite artist, and that's that. On the 7th of June, I went back to work, which wasn't the best thing in the world. However, at least I was getting an income again. On June 10th, I dyed my hair pink again because it was fading out and I wanted it back bright pink. On the 23rd of June, we went back to school for 1 day a week. So every Tuesday for I think it was 5 weeks, I went back to school, and there was about 10 of us in each class. And it was alright. I actually got a lot more work done because I didn't actually do any of the lockdown work that was set at all. But when we went back, I did loads of work and found it really, really helpful. On the 28th of June, I got tickets for the drive-in at Brent Cross, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more in a second. Moving on to July. On the 6th of July, I booked tickets to see Six the Musical at a drive-in. I think it was in Birmingham. To later find out it was cancelled, but I was really, really excited to go see that. That was meant to be in September of this year, however, obviously that didn't happen. On the 11th of July, I reunited with Ella and Megan. It was really, really nice to see them again, and we just camped out in my garden. Biggest regret ever because it was freezing cold and we woke up 5 o'clock the next morning. On July the 12th to go to the drive-in at Brent Cross where we saw Max and Harvey again. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the show was, and I was sweating. I was full on wearing a suit, insert picture. I was wearing a suit and I was sweating like nobody's business. It was awful. I looked so bad, and Tom was there, and the only thing I kept thinking all the time was, oh my god, I look like awful, and Tom could see me, and that was the only thing I was worried about. Oh, and Dobby as well, but you know, I'm not really bothered about what Dobby thinks about me because I love him, but at the same time, I really only went to that event so I could see Tom. And I didn't even like talk to him, like I smiled at him like 3 times. That was the only communication we had. But you know, anyway, enough about Tom. I talk about Tom too much, I don't know if you noticed. On the 15th of July, we found out that the second drive-in and the 6th drive-in were cancelled, so I was going to go. There was another drive-in event that Max and Harvey were doing on the 26th of July. However, we found out that due to noise complaints from people in the area, and also the company that were running the drive-in not making enough profit from ticket sales, they couldn't hold the events anymore and they had to cancel them all. And I honestly did like a 50-minute live stream on Instagram of me just crying. I was literally crying. I was so upset and I would not stop crying for like an hour. And everyone was just like, you've seen them loads before, why do you care? And I was like, I want to see Tom. And it was really emotional. I laugh about it now, but it was a sad time. On the 23rd of July, Taylor Swift announced her 8th studio album, Folklore, which was crazy. And obviously on the 24th, it got released. I also, on the 24th, got my camera that I'm currently filming on, which, by the way, is a Canon G7x Mark 2, which is in my frequently asked questions in the description, and is also known as the YouTuber camera, because every YouTuber under the sun has this camera. And I got one because I was like, I want to do YouTube, and here I am right now. On the 28th of July, I dyed my hair pink. Again, for the 3rd time. Now, this was becoming a common thing. I had bright pink hair, and every time it faded, I wanted to redo it. So I just had bright pink hair all the time, which was a vibe. But to my mistake, on the 7th of August, I dyed my hair purple. It looked horrible. It genuinely looked horrible. The pink was a vibe, but the purple looked awful. On the 8th of August, I redecorated my bedroom, so this wallpaper that is here, like this brick effect, is now on my wall. It used to be like a beach theme sort of thing, so I had blue walls and like beach wood or whatever it's called wallpaper, but now I have white walls and white brick wallpaper, which I love. On the 15th of August, I got to see Ella and Megan again. We spent like, I think it was 5 days at my house. We did loads of things. On August the 21st, I went to Nottingham Victoria Centre to go to Urban Outfitters for the first time. That was literally the first time I'd ever been to Urban Outfitters, and I went in there and spent 250 quid. Moving on to September, on the 1st of September, I posted my first YouTube video, which was my why I should be Max and Harvey's support act, which hasn't worked out very well in my favour, although it's one of my most popular videos on YouTube. I haven't had any response from Max and Harvey, unfortunately, which is just so sad. But you know, I didn't think I was going to get anywhere with it anyway, and I might actually delete that video because it's just embarrassing at this point, but you know, it was my first YouTube video. On the 3rd of September, I dyed my hair back brown to go back to school. I used to like the blonde highlights, but now I don't really like it anymore, and I want to dye my hair black. However, that's a different story. That'll be 2021 Ciara, but 2020 Ciara is currently just dip dyed, and it's not a vibe, but you know, it's fine. On September the 4th, I went to see After We Collided, which is my favourite film, and Hero Finds Tiffin is just one of the most gorgeous people that this world has ever seen, and he's British. And also, I don't usually like British boys, I usually like American boys. However, he's gorgeous, and his voice, right, I don't usually find British voices attractive. I usually just find Welsh, Scottish, Irish and American voices attractive, but he has the most attractive British voice I think I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm obsessed. Moving on the 14th of September, I went back to school to start year 11, which is insane. There's not really much more to say about that. I'm having a much better year than I was last year, so that's great. It wouldn't be an understatement to say that October was my least eventful month of this year. The only thing I did in October, which was on the 16th, was I applied for college. I finally decided on my A-levels/BTECs that I wanted to take. However, I'm literally currently debating them because my first choice was BTEC music production, my second choice was A-level business, my third choice was BTEC law, and my fourth choice was A-level media studies. However, I'm currently debating whether to change BTEC law to film studies, so I do media, film, business and music production. However, I don't know whether I want to do law or not right now, but I'm going to look more into it before I change it. But that's my current options and what I've chosen to do at the moment. November, also a very uneventful month. On the 19th of November, I started my mock exams. A lot happened. I pretty much have all my results now apart from drama. However, I am going to do a separate video on that, which I've not done yet. I have to film, which I keep forgetting to film, but it's okay. On the 30th of November, I finished my mocks. My last mock was my drama one. And that's all there is really to say about mocks. On the 4th of December, I found out I was going to see Max and Harvey again on their tour next year. Another thing that happened on December 4th was a lot of my favourite albums/songs of the year came out. So Wonder by Shawn Mendes came out, the album. Weird, the album by Youngblood, came out on that day. Max and Harvey's song Worry a Little Less came out on that day. I've literally only listened to that song two times in my entire life, so I don't know why I'm saying that's one of my favourites, because it's just not, and I don't really like it, but you know, that came out on that day. So that was a good day for me musically, because it just was, and without that day, a lot of my favourite songs would not exist. On the 5th of December, I did my grade 5 flute exam, which honestly was one of the worst exams I've ever done in my life. My scales, I got 10 out of 21 because the thing is I knew them, but my flute just stopped working. The sound just wouldn't come out, and it was the most stressful thing I think I've ever done in my life. Luckily, I passed. I don't know how I passed. I got a merit. Like, how the fuck did I get a merit? On the 17th of December was the last day of school and also my birthday, my 16th birthday. So you can look at what I got for my birthday video, which I will link. But there's not really much more to say about that apart from the fact it was my 16th birthday and that I finished school for 2 weeks. On the 19th of December, I did the cooking live stream with Max and Harvey. I don't really know what else to call it. I'll put a link to it so you can watch it. I basically just talked to Harvey and Tilly while Max was off doing something else, but then I went to talk to Max. Harvey just stopped working. Like, I couldn't hear anything he was saying or see him for like the whole last section of the video. Like, for the first 20 minutes or so I could hear him perfectly. I was the only person really talking to him, and then for like the last 45 minutes he just, every time I went near him I just couldn't hear a thing he was saying or see him at all. So I just went and spent time with Max and just roamed around, but it was pretty eventful and you can watch it for yourself if you want. On the 24th of December obviously was Christmas Eve. I saw some of my family members again. I'll insert a picture. It was nice to see everybody again because we weren't spending Christmas Day together, so we all wanted to see each other on Christmas Eve just so we could give each other presents and just, you know, drink. And the last thing was Christmas Day was the 25th. I am going to be doing a what I got for Christmas video, don't you worry. Today is the 28th of December, which by the way is Tom's birthday. I just thought I'd mention that. So not really anything's happened because it's 3 days since Christmas. Can we just talk about how in 4 days time it's 2021? That is insane. I feel like this year just didn't happen at all. Like, I just feel like it went so freaking quick. And I don't understand how this year has gone by already. It's a bit insane and it feels like a bit of a blur, but it's literally 4 days till 2021, and when you're watching this it's probably tomorrow. But that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And I can't believe that. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much my 2020 in review. Thank you so much if you stayed to the end. I know some of it was boring and that you probably won't care. However, I just wanted to do like a little video diary of my year, and I will do one again next year just so I can sort of like see what happened in my year, because I forget what I get up to. Like, if anybody asked me what I did in 2019, I probably wouldn't know, because for the last 3 months of the year I was depressed, and for the first 9 months of the year I was just going to too many concerts. Like, I went to every concert under the sun and festival and whatever. It was a very busy year and I can't remember half of what I did. So I wanted to do this for 2020 so that I could remember what my year was like. And that's really all there is to it. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you all had a lovely Christmas. Please feel free to follow me on all my social medias. Most of my accounts will be in the description box below. However, my Instagram usernames will be on the screen right now. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!